when we was running up through there about 65, and got to that. And thank goodness there wasn't no vehicles on it. I had my side, the other side doing the same thing, and tractor trailers going across it. I'm like, oh.
It's a different one.
We went down one way and came back through Florida.
Yeah, run up 75 through Florida. Just take 75 all the way. You can bypass it that way, but.
Oh, I'm not going back.
Yeah. Once was enough.
Yeah.
We checked mileage, like I say, we right along here somewhere.
Okay.
And we checked the mileage coming around through, up Shirley Road, Cheap William, and crossed, Dovetown over to 29. Guess how much further it was there from here? We go across here, and from this point here, our house, either way, guess how much further it is?
Probably like 5 miles.
An extra I'd say an extra 2.5 miles.
It surprised me. Somewhere around 2.5, right in that area.
Yeah.
Like
It seems like it's further, but
now,
That's just because we're going through Royston, going through town there.
no, we didn't go.
You went the other way,
Yeah, they say here, like I say, Cheap William and Dovetown Road. You go, that's country road. All your traffic won't necessarily go that way, but we did it to see. Dodge and Royston, because this goes right into Royston. We are cutting off. Well, we can take the dirt road coming up. I'm just guesstimating, and we'll come out maybe around about here, right above a little bridge here somewhere. But I
when you
was,
want to start
if
that?
somebody had
In May?
said something to me about, I figured it was 6.
We have a tentative start date of May 9th, but that's tentative on our NTP, which is our notice to proceed.
A lot of that's waiting on environmental clearances and
Yes, ma'am.
people in the land itself and actually begin with.
But once we get that NTP, per the contract and specifications, ER Snell has to give all the local municipalities 30 days notice for all the emergency vehicles and police departments, fire departments have to give them 30 days. So tentatively right now they're shooting for May 9th, but that's based off of our NTP and our approvals.
Well, was a year ago too. I decided I'd join the school bus team. They told us then they had been figuring out routes to go around that they knew got schools that probably January is when they're going to get started. That was before the COVID times.
Oh, yes, ma'am. No amendments.
Second row, outside on the front row.
No, they might throw
So you got
I have to answer questions if you go on the front row, right?
How long you been with this DOT?
This DOT, right around almost a month, but, I have, right at 15 years experience in the industry. I worked in Louisiana, for the last 15 years and then just recently, moved here, so.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, welcome to Georgia.
Well, I lived here for 21 years. I was born and raised in Raven County.
Oh, wow. So you're back home now, huh?
I have home, yes, ma'am.
You had to leave Raven County because it's cracking down on the moonshine, huh?
No, my dad had that issue, but I never had that issue. I just, I wanted to kind of get out and see the world a little bit, travel, and, ended up meeting my wife in Louisiana and never really left after that, so.
She cooks Cajun food, huh?
That's why I have the belly that I have. I went down there 225 pounds solid muscle and came back 15 years later, 265 pounds with a gut, so.
You're not gonna take the bridge out on 29 at the same time, right?
I have no idea about that, sir.
They couldn't hardly do that, could you?
Well, that's what I thought, but I see they're over there working.
Yeah, they're, that specific bridge you're talking about, that was just that one up here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, they're doing an on-site detour, so you see that work to, as you drive down to the left of you. All that's a bridge they're building temporarily to switch traffic over.
Oh, you're talking about right down here?
Yes.
Yeah, they're gonna do one on 29 going toward Royston now, then. But y'all paving 174 right now.
Yeah, that's this one right here.
That's 281.
On 29, had signs up, but do they still have it?
I don't know. I just might live that way, so they told them it'd be soon.
It'll be the detour, yes, ma'am.
If I'm correct, right at Frankfurt County, Madison County line.
Oh,
that one.
Little bridge.
I don't think we're gonna close
If
that.
you need help, man, just let me know.
I don't think so.
I would imagine small bridge that is, they think like they did down here.
They may do that. I'm not familiar with that project, I haven't looked into it yet.
Me either. I just stay home mostly. Was trying to find out everything we can. How many times was this for possibly changing? There was a notice, maybe 2 years ago. Then,
Back through,
Yeah.
Chief Williams, back through there, and we met the other day, and it was like 2.5 miles from there to.
Yeah.
it's
No, it is curvy, but
not real bad. I mean, it's not a straight shot, but I mean.
Are you looking for the remotes? I use them for paper waste for the time being, but.
Mr. Cox, how are you?
Fine progress. How you doing? Good. Good.
hey,
Hey, Drew, how you doing?
I'm good.
Just like working.
Which one?
We go to.
What did they do back to it? Used to be, down each one.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's a nice modern facility. Boy, girls, get on it, they live over at Charles Street. We will be out working in the city. They have games, so.
Kind of type of paperwork right here. It'd be June 2nd instead of May 2nd, so we get through school.
Oh.
That is a big wish list for you right now. Figure my two don't sleep in the car anymore. I had a lot of So you're on, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you're in the rickety curve, like my kids are.
Yes, right when we started to, up there on the end.
Yeah, we're a stone's throw away from farm town, so figure we just go get it once it's.
Yeah, that would,
Yeah. So the pine trees and everything else. Yeah. Yeah, we go up and get cheap for you. You come out right there before you get to the maximum, is that right?
Yeah, right, just below where we start.
Yeah.
We're just about ready to start, that's where we're coming at.
Well, that Transco pipeline going through there is kind of hard. Go ahead. Well, that'll be about right. That part is going down to that river spot. I don't need anything. Because that's a sharp down. Hopefully you get like that.
Good, good. All right. Good. Franker.
Justin Churchwell, with GDOT.
Okay. Brandon. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Hopefully, we'll let y'all talk a little bit and then, then have some questions or stuff. Probably whatever y'all want, probably me and most of those questions. I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got pretty prepared before this. I think we've done that, which might be
As soon as I realized what that change was, I tried to get that out.
just make sure that
we
That, not the one that
we
we put to the fire.
yeah, sure. And where you want. In fact, I'll turn mine over right up here.
And I put the actual detour that's gonna be in place, I brought that with us just so everybody could visually see it.
Right.
See where we're gonna be detouring.
Right, okay.
And also, anybody who wants to see this is a show, or this will show all the traffic. Yes.
I think that we got some other folks here. Not that so many, this limit, ways to get there, that's part of the county. Appreciate y'all coming over there before we start. Hey, it's right outside the door. You'll see the sign over there. How you doing, Lacey?
I'm good, how are you?
All right.
My wife works for we see y'all in the parade. Probably going there.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt, how you
Well, you ain't good company.
never make a name right. Well, I'm gonna just tell you now, you're
Don't
gonna have
start.
to leave it all for you. Okay, you're gonna have to leave it for y'all. Me and you both, see?
I asked because nobody else will.
How you? You doing good?
Oh, hey.
Yeah, I think Bobby, but you may have got that covered. Supposed to, and the sheriff department supposed to. And the technical, so I'm hoping that oversight too. Yeah, I told him that. I said another thing. I guess not. You doing all right? Good. Yeah. How you doing?
Trying to figure out how we get from point A to point B.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's always a way.
There's a way. Yeah. Good. All right. How y'all? I need to go.
You look like Larry Cox.
How you doing?
One bit out of this. On the road.
Yeah.
Cut some of that traffic out of the path through. Well, there's a motorcycle though, we were coming, it sounds like it's a heart attack. Oh, yeah. Hit the bridge, the helm up to 65, and it's like, yeah, here comes the rain. No, you should go, you're not careful. You know where that, campus is at? Yeah, we live in Lake Town, we live in Old
So, how are we here?
Yeah, she's supposed to be here. In Harry, I think.
All right, they are coming. Okay. All right.
That was
I'm gonna put it there. Back in his box. I see it on the floor over underneath. Christina must took it over there. So I guess that's it. guess we hope we don't have any more of this real heavy rain.
Yeah.
Not been around a while.
Yeah, we get our fair share.
Where you gotta go, Dan?
I heard you about
Well, we didn't win it.
Christina just called.
That's right.
Oh, you go back? Okay. All right. You don't know.
We're at 6 or wait?
We'll get you there. It's still, we got a few minutes.
Okay.
We'll see. Karen, see. It feels strange to send you off. Well, me too, but, hey. Yeah, I guess you got to lay up. That's why you deceive you. You can take your All right, we're gonna wait just a few minutes until the chairman can get here. I think he got his places of meeting mixed up, so he should be here. If he's not here in a few minutes, we'll get things rolling here. I would like to say I appreciate all of you being here, you know, this is more or less an information meeting because, I mean, the bridge, as far as the work that's going to be done, it's going to be done, and all of these guys will talk a little bit more about these, the DOT and from the contractor. But you know, we wanted to have information, and we really wanted to get it out about the planning that's been done to make sure the county services and all get to you like they you know, should, and talk about what kind of accommodations we made to try to make sure everything runs smoothly. And so we're going to have everybody sort of get up and talk about their areas and how they planned, and then we'll have the sort of the questions at the end if we can, to sort of, you know, I think most of the questions will probably be answered by the folks that's talking, so that would sort of to keep it from being here till 10 o'clock, you know, and then taking one section at a time. We'll probably just let everybody just speak, and then, you know, just move forward with that. So, and then we'll do the questions. All right, sound good to everybody? All right, just real informal. So if you got a question, write it down, or like I have to do, I have to tell Lacey or Christina to remind me to ask this question. So find somebody that's next to you that has a better memory than you, and then ask them to remember that question.
He said he's less than 5 minutes away.
He's 5 minutes?
Less than 5
Less
minutes
than
away.
5. All right, we'll wait on Todd then. I've been running myself trying to get here. Too many activities on this Monday. And I didn't know I had to deal with. So.
We did, it was this weekend.
Oh, did you?
Yep. Yeah. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, good times. You are still, folks?
No, sir.
We are brand new.
I'm just church.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. We'll just push the contract. You know, 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Yeah. And gonna build a big thing to keep any rain from falling on it, right?
That's exactly right. We got a big umbrella, and it'll work out.
Need a big one, right?
Yeah.
circumstance coming.
I'm sure Daniel's one too, right now.
Yeah, they've been sort of struggling.
They had a lot of rain. That's just like dirt roads. When it rains a lot.
You wanna bring that one up?
Look, you can bring that up at another meeting, but we're working on the dirt
I've got
roads.
3 swimming pools on my dirt road.
Yeah, we got a lot of them. We're trying to,
That's why I said, you wanna bring it
yes,
up?
I got plenty of calls and I'll take them.
So introduce you to Commissioner Brian Kirk.
I can tell you that we're working on the dirt roads, and, as we can get to them, right now, we're trying to
Give you
get,
his phone number.
yeah.
I know where you live.
I know where I live. These folks ain't bad, they ain't bad. I don't blame them. We just keep if we just keep the pipe and the culverts from washing out, we'll be all right for right now. Then we'll try to, if we can, then maybe we can work on the roads and keep them from washing. Full ditches.
You know,
I'm going to hurry up. I got supper waiting.
I have too. Well, I don't know if I do or not, but I'm hoping.
Hey, Brian. If you can't get the road, can we get a sound here to put up
Well, no,
front
just
to keep
him. Y'all had some.
vibrating and knocking my house down and just
Well, I don't know. You gotta talk to your husband and see how much he can, you know? Talk to him over there and see how much wood you out there and build your big fence and barrier out
sound
there.
barrier, yeah.
Well, I wish I was a writer.
Do what?
What I would write would be fit
You have
to see always.
Really? Heartbreaking things, why all of a sudden,
So, do we have somebody here from ER Snell?
I have not heard.
small, we have to be careful.
We've tried to
He has something else come up, so he's not able to make it.
Not able to make it, okay.
Yes.
I just saw that on the
There you
agenda.
Can't get here on time.
I'm wondering why I was the only one at the fire hall. I scheduled it, ain't that something?
That's right. That's what I was surprised when I saw that it was here and not there, so.
It looks like one of y'all would've stopped by the fire hall and said, hey, what are you doing? Sorry, guys, I apologize. I got there and I was like, well, 6:45, ain't nobody here, 6:50, surely somebody's gonna show up.
Yeah.
I figured Rodney would. But no, just drive on by.
So,
Come by there.
so Chairman, I took the liberty to talk about that folks present, and then we'll take questions sort of at the end. I think they'll answer most of the questions. And, I guess that I'll let you proceed on, but I guess the ER Snell person is not here, so I guess we could.
Thank you, Brian, I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone coming out tonight. Everyone knows this is an advisory meeting to try to clear up some questions, that's been circulating about, access to and from, the Madison County area versus Franklin County. So, with that being said, sir, you with GDOT?
Yes, sir.
Both of you?
Yes, sir.
Just introduce yourself so everybody knows who they're talking to or who they're hearing from.
Brandon Ramey, with UDOT, I'll be the project manager on this project. So I guess, Justin.
Hey, I'm Justin. I'm the second in command here over construction in Carnesville, Georgia. We cover the 5 counties around here. We're over most road construction on good bridges and roads around here. guys that work here are local. If you see Brandon, we also got another guy that'll be out there. His name is Bruce Freeland. He's a local guy too. He's from Royston. You know, we're here to help grow the community and help it work out a little better. So we know there's some problems with the bridge we have right now. We're looking to replace it, and you know, we're looking forward to working with everybody here. So any questions, we're happy to answer them. I'll turn it over back to Brandon.
Well, to get started, if anybody hasn't seen it yet, I brought a large-scale map of the detour that's going to be in place. So each of you can take time to come up and look at it. I'll leave it here as long as you need. To talk a little bit about the project, the project cost that we're going to be looking at is $4,784,619.15. That's without any unforeseen obstacles or anything else. We have 3 endangered species on the project. That is a really high priority for us to look out for. We have certain things in place to protect those. The first is a bald eagle. I have a meeting scheduled tomorrow with the EPD, or our erosion control liaison, Rocky Brown. So we're going to take a walk through the job. We're going to try to locate where this guy is and make sure that that's top priority for us. Second is a robust red horse. Is in the river, and third is a sandbar shiner that is in the river. So those guys are top priority for us on that end of it. Going into to traffic control, again, I brought the large scale. I have a smaller scale with each one of our sign notations that are going to be in place during the detour. These things will be, I'll ride the job on a daily basis and check traffic control. If anything was to get knocked over, damaged, or stolen, hope that doesn't happen, but if it does, we're going to be taking notes of those on a daily basis, making sure that everything is completely visible, making sure that all of it is in good working condition. So if any of you would like to come up and see, get familiarized with some of the signs you're going to see within the detour, so you're more than welcome to do that. The closure on this job, SR 281, State Route 281, is going to be 320 days. So right now, ER Snell has a tentative start date of May 9th, but that is tentative depending on our notice to proceed that we get from the Atlanta office. So once we receive notice to proceed, there's a special provision within the specifications that state that we have to give each local municipality, fire, emergency, police, all the local guys, 30 days notice from the time that we receive this notice to proceed. So say that May 9th will not happen, but according to those standards, then it should be 30 days from the time we get the notice to proceed, which we haven't received yet. So we're still waiting on that documentation to come from Atlanta. I think that's all I had highlighted. Any questions or concerns, Brooks? Yes, sir.
When you talk about the bridge itself, the width, height?
Yes, so let's see, I can look in here. I did not have to believe. Right here. Excuse me if you're just giving me.
It will be taller and longer than what currently exists.
Yes.
So the plan is to take some of that dip out. I know that's a big concern, because it is quite a sharp dip as you go down that hill and come back up. It should be wider as well. The new standards show, show like a minimum of a 4-foot shoulder. I think this one is a little bit wider than that. But he's gonna confirm and,
Just trying to find the typical stress section.
So you're saying we can,
I'm saying, what I'm getting, I'm saying you can pedal to the metal as fast as you go right now.
I like it. We'll find it tomorrow. I like it.
You won't have to worry about no coming across the other side of the bridge when you get back.
Okay, so the total bridge length is going to be 430 feet. And it looks like the new height, trying to find the secondary elevation here, so that's 472. Elevation is 565.
The width of your new bridge will be 40 feet wide from one side of the bridge to the other. Now that also incorporates, barrier wall, which is about up on the side. So you have a 12-foot travel lane. You should have about a 6-foot shoulder. So it should be much better than what we have currently.
Do you know the current specs as to what it is, like, just put it in retrospective, how much wider versus how much higher than what it currently is, just ballpark? I know it's been a big...
He's looking to see what the actual new height is,
Yeah, I'm
in
trying
regards
to-
to what is there.
Yeah.
On the elevation, that's to the ground level.
Your side profile.
Yeah.
Just pull that up. But the new width of the bridge should be a 12-foot travel lane both ways, plus I think right now it's like a 2-foot shoulder. There's not much to it, so it's about a 6-foot shoulder that'll be put in.
That'd be nice.
So it should provide much more safety on that.
Gonna be like the bridge that y'all put down on Skull Shoals Creek, what is that on 191 there? Is that width?
Yes, sir. I think it'll be the same style bridge as that. If you've seen a bridge built by us in the past, it'd be about that same width. Yeah, it's not. Standard 2-lane road now is about the same. We're not going much wider, and unless we have a lot of wide loads, then we can we tend to accommodate a little more. Yes, sir.
Now, I was just wondering, anybody else got any other question other than the elevation?
You taking out the S curves?
I don't think our project limits are going that far out. I think ours are
As far as once you get notification to proceed, will there be any signage to let us know that we're getting close? So, I jokingly said about school.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's getting close to hitting within that sweet spot of we're still trying to get Danielsville.
Yeah.
And so,
We can
show up one day, hey, the bridge is, turn around and backtrack about 3 or 4 miles to get it.
Yes, sir. I mean, like we said, we're not sure exactly when we
Right.
get started. I mean, we don't have a contractor here right now with us, but we can, if at all possible, we can try to reduce that amount.
Well, I'm saying if there's any signage will there be any signage that when we enter the bridge, because I'm sure there's most of us here travel
say construction will begin.
Yeah.
The LED information scroll would be great.
I don't recall if that is included in this, but if it is,
The
we'll.
changeable portable restaurants.
Yeah, there's 7 of them, there's 7 of
Okay.
them in the contract,
Yeah.
and they'll be placed at intervals along where the detour is. So I have a general, here in the detour plans, I spoke with Shane Jones today, and we have a general of where those things are gonna be. You guys, it's on the detour plans that I was speaking of earlier, so if you wanna come up, look, I have the general locations of where those maps are going to be. Now, we have 7 in the contract, but what we're probably gonna do is we're probably gonna pull, 2 to 3 more from the GDOT pool and place out there for just extra advance warning, to give, you know, people who haven't traveled the route a lot, give them an extra advance warning. So we will have ample amount of those on the project, yes, sir.
Thank you.
Now, with the $4 million price tag, y'all got a 50 to 75-year life expectancy on the bridge or longer?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're looking for a 70-year lifespan, but a lot of our bridges are, where we're actually designing them to be 80 to 100 years.
Yeah.
So it should, all the bridges you see constructed now are along that same, so they should last for a very long time.
Now, addressing back to Todd, is that part of the planning committee for the width of the bridge within that period of time?
No, sir. This is completely out of the county's hands. This is, a state-ran project. We have no say-so over it. We have no say-so over state highway, period. So, for instance, when they started the construction in Danielsville, we wasn't aware that they were starting construction in Danielsville till we started seeing putting out comps. On state projects, they don't necessarily, give us information.
But doesn't it have a back decision on this business plan?
The one in Danielsville, it did because of the amount of businesses that it was gonna affect. One of the concerns that was just brought up was, you know, this meeting is pretty much made up of Madison residences, but on the other side of that is the Franklin County residents that travel highly to Athens. And that's why I would say minimum 14-day notification, blinking signs. Every day it's counting down 9 days, 8 days, 7 days, so people know that's not in this room. Unless Franklin County is holding this kind of meeting, I'm assuming maybe, I don't know. But that's why the notification needs to be pushed out there so far with the extra signage. That road, we're in this room, 50 people's here, you've probably done the traffic count on that road. I would say there's upwards of 750, 800 cars at that bridge. With that being said, most of those is going to be Franklin County, Hart County residents that use it for a cut to avoid Franklin Springs.
About the comprehensive plan that the county's putting together?
Correct.
Okay, well, the only impact would be is that in the future, if the county built the bridge somewhere, then we would try to build it to state standards, but that would, you know, hopefully the county's not gonna have to do that anytime soon, but and so we will take that into consideration, and that will be part of the plan and part of any kind of comprehensive plan looking to the future, that if we need an area that's gonna get high traffic, you know, what's gonna happen in the 10-year span that the comprehensive plan is gonna include. And so we would have to start accounting for how would we manage that? How would we, you know, if we had to build a bridge over a river somewhere or a large stream, then how would we manage that? Because $10 price tag, and not many bridges we're going to be able to build, not at this point.
Yeah, and I would think it would definitely come more into play on the Highway 29 bridge over towards Franklin Springs that you'll be taking out. That would fall more under a comprehensive plan because you're going to see more building along 29 obviously than you would 280.
Right. But that would still be a state project.
Yeah, both would be state projects.
All I got to say is traffic's building up on 281.
It is, and as I said in front of the fire hall, I was pointing at the road right beside the sign. I was surprised at how many people fly down that road. They hit that little straightaway right in front of the fire hall and they're on the gas.
Right.
But, you know, it's a situation, information I can give you is we paved a road over in Culver just recently. And the very next day, I get a phone call, an email that said, thank you for paving our road. It's been 20 years. And then the next day, I get a phone call or an email from the same person that says, now can you come put speed bumps on it? Because before they slowed down, but now that there's no potholes, everybody now uses it for a drag strip. So it's a catch-22 no matter what you do on that part of it. Obviously, because it's a state bridge, it is out of our hands. But I'm sure that they took into account for the business growth in that area, which we hope that Harrison stays as rural. That's what we want.
If the new bridge is gonna be raised, will you have low weight restrictions on it?
No.
An extra 10 feet, by the way, I'm sorry if someone found that, so it will be 10 feet higher than what it is now.
Questions? You brought up the 29 bridge at Franklin Springs. Do y'all know the timeline on that one?
I haven't seen it come across my desk yet.
Okay. So, I mean, some of us use that to cut back.
If I've seen on my desk, it's probably not coming in about 2 years.
Okay.
From my understanding, it'll be well closed. I mean, this one will be well completed before they ever start that one.
Yeah.
DOT has been good. I'll add to this, going back about a year and a half, 2 years ago when Danielsville Bridge was mentioned. There was no alternative for not a bypass, for a detour, or an existing bridge or an additional bridge beside, and a group just like yourselves of business people and community members here in Danielsville brought DOT in, and they voiced the opinion of how strong it would be to have an extra lane open. And DOT listened, and they did put in the bypass, because honestly, it would have been detrimental to the city of Danielsville had they not done that, had the road just been closed. Fortunately, the bypass, the detour that they've chosen, from the best of my knowledge and mapping it out, is not a complete catastrophic detour. It's probably the best that could possibly happen in this particular area. And I spoke with Sheriff Moore, and I've also spoke with Bobby Smith of the EMS and the fire stations. Is it going to be uncomfortable? Sure it will. There's no way around it. There's not enough roads to make it an even shorter distance to travel, but unlike the Danielsville Bridge, traffic flow, which is 18 to 25,000 a year in Danielsville versus 1,000. It don't necessarily, if it affects you, it still affects you no matter what. We do understand that, but this is something that we can't stop. All we can do is try to make the best out of it that we can. And I think that's why the cooperation between the Sheriff's Office and EMS and Georgia DOT has worked so well with this project.
Do you know if the Arsenal exceeds the 320-day limit, or the penalties in place or incentives to finish early?
I don't know about incentives to finish early, but there are liquidated damages in the contract if they were to exceed the 320 days. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's a pretty big construction outfit, so surely they'll beat the 320 days.
We hope so.
I think the 320, if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember your name, sir. Jesse? Justin, from talking to Nell just recently, and the project coordinator from Arsenal, he's actually projecting about 282 days. Everything, the window is out there basically for weather and actually endangered species. That was the reason the window was stretched out. But he said full construction time should be, if everything goes well, 280 days.
And that's because they can't get into the river until June. So they won't be able to do any construction in or around the river until June, and that's due to the endangered.
Is there any questions there's been a lot of controversy, let's go ahead and get it out there. If you have concerns with EMS, if you have concerns with the Sheriff's Office,
Well, can let you present first? Yeah, that's what I'd rather do. Please.
I mean, I think they got a good plan, guys. I think they just need to squash the rumors.
Yeah.
It's simple. I'm not gonna give out a whole lot of detail what we're gonna do, because
newspapers here, social media's here. We're gonna give out all our secrets, okay? We're gonna invite folks. But pretty much, we're gonna been doing, difference is really ain't no different. We still use Farmtown to get to Harrison. We still use, Dove Hill to get to Harrison. And, you know, so we still gonna do the same thing. We still have guys coming in and out. I know there's rumors that we're gonna put somebody in Royston PD. We can't do that. I mean, I ain't got enough folks for the road now here. But, you know, we're so far, since January, we answered 23 calls in Harrison. Alarm calls, tower calls, and domestic, and, well, 24, we had one today. But, we still gonna service it just like we've been doing. The only, like, you know, we have talked about is our guys make sure they let us, you know, they gotta go up there daily, like they already do. We got somebody goes up there, where they get to know the road. Cause some of them not familiar with the newer guys not familiar with Dove Hill as much. And the reason why I say pretty much Farmtown, because anything on 72, say Fay and Hull, they're gonna come to Harrison. And Hull's where most of our calls come from. They're gonna come up 72, Farmtown, the 172, Farmfield to get y'all. They'll come to Dansville, and then it's just easier to go that way. When I was on patrol, it was a lot quicker time. So, any questions?
And you got this, you got the deputy up.
Well,
Yeah.
One good thing, most of y'all know me. My name's Jeff Bond, if you don't know me. I'm born and raised in Harrison. I live off of Farmtown on Farm Dudley Road. Lived there my whole life. Most of the time, a lot of the citizens don't call 911, call 706-201-6408, and that's my cell number.
Watch it, Zach, watch it.
They know. So, with that said and done, fortunately I live there, guys. If it is a cruise, I'm coming. And trust me, if a Harrison boy needs to get there, Harrison boy can get there. I promise you. I know every nook and cranny of that place, so no worries. All they gotta do is wake me up, and trust me, they do that anyway. No worries. We've got another outstanding deputy, also a volunteer fireman, Mr. Austin Schubert, lives there, riding his youngin'. So we're well covered.
2 people call too on his days off.
So I volunteered to stay at home and work from home 320 days. There's that good. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I mean, that's still, you know, if y'all hit us enough, I will do it. So I'll take those 23 calls and risk it. But
We've already had business, and I'm sure.
yeah.
But Michael, wouldn't that help out Royston with their manpower problems that they got if y'all did supply a man?
Yeah, but what's it gonna do for me?
Are you sure as they are?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
To answer everything, there is 21 dedicated positions for Madison County Sheriff. That's the face of Madison County for patrol division. Of those 21, I'm down 4 right now. 10 slots are divided on each rotation. For 24-hour coverage, I've got 10 deputies, okay? Of those 10, remember, I'm -4. I've also, of the ones that's employed, I've got 1 in the hospital now with a heart attack. So I'm down 5, okay? So we have to cover the difference. When you're talking about adding a man in Washington PD, Donnie's fantastic. You know, I love him like a brother, but we've got to. I'm not going to ask Donnie to help cover Madison County and Harrison when he's having trouble covering Royston. I can't send a man to Royston and help him cover Royston when we're 5 down, 4 down on patrol here. So it's tough. Madison County Sheriff's Office answers approximately 53,000 calls a year, roughly. And I will say that the majority of those are not in Harrison, and that's because y'all are well behaved, and we thank you.
Y'all just don't call myself.
We know
We thank you. We thank you.
But getting back to Royston, if something, it ain't no, right now, something was major happened, who we calling first?
Right.
In other words, we're on the way, if we're not already, we're gonna call them to come and assist us.
And vice versa. Anything happens in Royston, I'm going him all the time, so.
So if the Royston police comes out, we can legally do that, it's like a mutual aid.
When we call and ask.
We come,
Yep.
we coming on. No, he can do what he wants to do, he's covered. Say something goes south, he's covered.
You know, these is only 23 calls.
Thank
So far.
you, Sheriff.
Don't go starting no more.
Michael, Jeff, I appreciate that. You know, one of the, and me and Jeff sat down and talked about this the other day. And, you know, 16 hours of the 24 hours a day, had they not work overtime, they're in the area, which is one of the more fortunate areas in the county that you do have in the area. So it's the 8 hours of the day that the coverage is just normal traffic, because the rest of the time, they've already got somebody in-house right there. So we're very appreciative for that. And it's, as Michael said, and you'll hear Bobby say it in just a second, this part, all surrounding counties do the same thing. It's not, probably would be uncommon if Harrison had a large structure fire and Danielsville just happened to be in a hole on a structure fire. Royston's coming. They're coming immediately.
And I tell you, just like right now, with Oglethorpe County, we even help Oglethorpe County out a good bit now.
Yeah.
Just like Oglethorpe County comes on and helps us on the other end of the county, but more of us helping them, because they're, so mutual aid is just a common thing around.
Bobby? Bobby Smith, EMS Director and EMA Director.
All right, so just like Michael said, we have mutual aid in the county and the region, not just Franklin County, not just, Jackson, Athens. We literally, when we go to our region council meetings, we sign an agreement with the whole region. So we'll be doing the same thing. We had, I pulled the last fiscal year, so like 4.16 to 4.6 of this year. I think going through the calls and looking at them, we ran about 104 calls up in Harrison and Bridge. Of those, we had about 28, 29 that were what we would consider serious calls, like chest pains, strokes, things like that. So that's pretty good. I mean, that's a pretty good thing that we just don't go up there to you guys much. So that's good. You're healthy, and that's good. Also, we got our great first responders that are there. I don't know how many we got in y'all's area now, but 4 or 5. So of course they're still going to be there. They're still coming. We'll still have them guys there responding. And with that, basically, if Daniels is out, it's going to be about the same as if Daniels is out and Comer or Iowa's coming to you guys. That's about the time difference. So it's not that much more, honestly. And then, like I said, we've been doing this for years. Even back when I was on shift and a supervisor, it wasn't nothing for the shift supervisor to call the Franklin County guys and go, hey, look, we can get you guys to go there. And they have. They always have. But, it's just part of it. That's what we do for each other. We do it for them and Oglethorpe and vice versa all the way around. So, yes, sir.
Do y'all have y'all respond more toward Livonia when you did Athens, when you
Do what? I'm sorry, say
you
it again.
respond to the hospital?
Hospital-wise, no, I'd say about 90% of our calls.
From Danielsville to just over the bridge, because that's where
I ran some of those today, depending on, so if the bridge is there, our response time is about 17 minutes to, let's say Bud Freeman Road is where I pulled it. I just picked a random place together. But that's about 17 minutes is where our ride is from right now.
So has anybody commented to see going around with it?
So yeah, it actually didn't change very much. It changed a little, about 9 minutes. So if going to that same spot will be about 9 minutes from what it is now from the Danielsville station. It's actually quicker for Iowa and Homer to get to you guys now. It'll be about 21 minutes, so only a couple of minutes here or there. it's all gonna be, and this is something that me and Brennan have already been talking about, and we've known this project coming for a couple of years now at least, I know. So, I mean, me and Brennan have talked about this several times as far as what are we sending Franklin County on, what calls are we getting, obviously which way we're gonna go.
And the only reason why I asked is because my parents are in their 80s. One's with severe dementia, and my mother is a severe heart patient.
Gotcha.
So she's 100% pacing, bypass, stent, and I am concerned, because I don't ever want them going to a bone. I hate to say that, but I don't ever want them
And
going.
that's always, we don't ever tell anybody. The only thing that we do is a county-wide. We don't go outside of like regional or Saints or, Sacred Heart or Elvis, something that only, can be seen in Atlanta or like a burn center or something like that, and a helicopter can fly. That's the only time that we ever go out of county that far. But we'll, if you tell us to take you to Athens.
My concern is the area knowledge, like with Michael's, these guys patrol, they see the roads every day.
Right.
What's your comfort level with your guys knowing?
I mean, it's definitely, I mean, it'll be a learning curve. I mean, it's something that we're just gonna have to do toward training to get them out on the road and get them up there. Saying, cause I'll be honest with you, I didn't know Dove Hill Road existed, and I've been here 20 years. I mean, so, but it's over the county line, so it's not just somewhere that we typically go into to get back over in there. But when Jeff showed me that, like I said, I actually tracked some of it daily, looking at the times and all, and how to get back up into the best station to go and all. So it's just gonna be some comfort area, or some, territory training, trying to get more comfortable with the area and responding from different locations.
So you're gonna have some kind of training plan in place?
Yeah, we'll look at it.
It's hard to teach area knowledge.
It is, I mean, it's honestly, what we've done in the past with situations like this, and different with the roads, bridges being out, things like that, we just, hey, y'all go right around, go figure out the back way, get in whatever area we need to get into.
Numerics are very important as well.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have numbers on their mailboxes whenever we go
Yeah,
out to call.
we encourage that anytime, if you want us to be able to know where we're going, and have some numbers up front.
Yeah, this, just to touch on that just a little bit, and I'm not trying to get off course here. Michael's correct. Well, and Bobby. 911 numbers, because whether we know the road name or not, there's a counting system in that road number. And Jeff, I'm sure you can explain it to them, what your number means. It means X amount of distance from X amount of spot versus another X amount of feet. It's all calculated in that 911 number. So if you don't have a 911 number, please God, before the bridge closes, make sure you get one and put it in type. I wasn't going to go to this topic, but Lacey finished today 270 roads that we have in this county. The other day it was 243, now we're up to 270 now, Zach, of unnamed roads.
Private road.
These are dirt roads that never got named in the county. And I'll just use you, sir, you live on a dirt road that you decided to build 4 houses. Well, then we sold that back property, and then that guy buys it, puts it in a dirt road. Then he didn't name it, and it tees off to another dirt road. 270 roads in this county that's unnamed. So we've ordered 300 signs today that's going to have a blue sign, and it's going to say like PD 101. That means Private Drive 101. We do have those 911 numbers. The 911 numbers are great if you're going in a straight line because they're calculating up. When a road tees off of it, it may change. And that ambulance driver or that deputy may not notice the change until he has to go down and turn around and says, uh-oh, the number, something happened. And he goes down and sees this little bitty narrow dirt road. And he starts counting one numbers again until it comes to an intersection. And now he don't know if it's counting up to the right or down to the left. So it's very important. Make sure your 911 numbers are visible, because this office, this staff, this government, and these department heads is doing the best they can to find you in a major heart attack situation. And that's effort into trying to find these roads, and we're going to spend a little money and make sure you get them labeled. It's no fault of anybody's that we have these roads, but they are being addressed. I can tell you that as bad as this 281 bridge is concerning to you all and the people of Franklin County and Hart County trying to get to Athens every day, it's just as concerning to us to make sure that we get you where you need to be as fast as possible.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Now, any other statements from y'all before we take the questions?
Well, I want to make sure that we cover the fire department. I know that Rodney's here with Harrison, so if you want to say something, I know Mark and we got Jackson and
Shallow back there in the
Shallow,
back.
yeah. So, talk about the coverage, because this couple of things that's important, which the volunteer fire area, so they also depend on mutual aid from the other internal fire departments in the area, and also rescue is volunteer, and so we can talk about some planning on that. So I don't know who's going to speak. I guess Mark is the person.
Hey, I'm Mark Perry with the Fire Department Rescue. Normally a second fire truck would come from Danielsville. It's about 10.5 miles from the Danielsville station to the Harrison station. And now the first response truck would come like Collins. This is 11 miles, half a mile difference from station to station there. If you live back down the river, it's going to be a little further because instead of just coming across the bridge, we got to come from another way. But rescue will have to come out of a coma, and it'll be about 6 or 7 minutes longer than it is now. But also, we'll call on Royston Fire Department for mutual aid and auto extrication, stuff like that, and we'll have trucks coming. And y'all behave really well over in Harrison. Don't call too much, you know. So we're hoping that that'll continue. If you misbehave, you might want to call ahead. How about road rescue then? Well, Collins is taken from the right. What? I mean, if you're up along from where the bridge is going in on the river rescue, it's different. It's part of Madison County Rescue, and we'll still be able to access it off of David Home Church Road, Farm Town Road, all that. Only up to 29. We can put it, you know, along Old Wildcat Bridge Road, 29 highways, then along David Home on the next section, and then.
Mark, they said, the gentleman just said that you still get down to 281, or, yeah, 281
to the Broad River outlet. And, so most of our business on the river is between 281 and 172. Right. The upper section, not even shows anything. They tend to get through there pretty well. But since they changed the container law on the river, our business has slowed down a good bit on the river. We good people. Well, people on the river, you think it was required to be drunk when you got there, and drunker when you got out.
Yeah, most of those were coming out of a little school over here in the adjacent
but it is
county.
down the calls on the river. People would get a little bit too much to drink, and the rappers today. First one did the one today came by. Yeah. But that has slowed down a good bit since the outfitters are not allowed to take alcohol with them, so that I don't know what it did to the business, but they can stay in the boat a lot better.
Any questions for Mark or rescue? Any concerns from the other chiefs, or to DOT from any of the chiefs?
I think we all did the same thing, looked at the back ways to get around, so. And we know the alternate route.
And you're comfortable, Rodney, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You know,
Yeah, he's part of it.
it's also a good time, and I'm going to utilize Zach while he's here, because he does such a great job, is, you know, we're short firemen. We're short volunteers. Volunteers is what keeps this county running. We have a few paid EMS and sheriff, but the backbone here care of us is the people that live here, they take care of each other, but having volunteers is huge. And if we have an opportunity to join one of these fire departments, like Harrison, Collins, they're gonna need that extra manpower. The more boots on the ground they got, the more first responders is coming, the more people we can get certified. It's a perfect opportunity. If you wanna be a part of your community, now's the time that you're gonna, maybe the most needed. Let's put it that way. You wanna shave off 5 minutes, get 3 people to volunteer, maybe they'll get there before the firemen get there, or the EMS or sheriff's office gets there.
And just to mention it, about the first responders, which are mostly volunteers, some of them in fire departments, rescue, or whatever, so y'all utilize those. And didn't you say you had, what, at least 4?
I think it's 4 or 5.
4? Okay. So they'll be Johnny on the spot, and that extra time, they can work with the patient until they get there with EMS or whatever.
And I want to add one more thing to that, Zach, that I hope you print this part, and the same as I hope you printed the last part, but you all do a good job, is living in the county. Please take heed to what 911 is. You know, we need to make sure that we have a truck in Danielsville. We need to make sure we got a truck in Comer, make sure we got a truck in Iowa that can respond to that Harrison community every day, but especially now with this bridge being out. So if you've been throwing up for 3 days, don't call 911 and say, hey, I've got a headache, or I've stumped my toe, or I've been throwing up for 3 days. Our 911 system is not designated as a transport system for patients. That's not what we do. Now, granted, we want to come when you're sick, but if I've got Isla out because somebody's had pneumonia for a week and a half, and my first responders is paged, but yet I get a call in Harrison, they're tied up on a nonsense call. And it may not be nonsense to the person that's throwing up. I get it. But pull 911 for the 911 calls. Because most of the time, the sheriff's department, I listen to that radio every day. It plays it right here behind my ear. And I'm hearing calls every day that I go, oh my God, surely not. Because I know that just took somebody out of a station. That a guy that lives right up the road may have a heart attack, and now he's got to wait 16 minutes because we're on a call because somebody's been sick for a week. That's not what we do. That's not what we're doing. It's not what we're designed to do. So please, public, take heed. We're going to need that staff in-house around Comer and Isla and Danielsville to be able to provide that service for you. I don't want them to not be able to answer the call. Now, any questions for these gentlemen?
I got one.
Come on.
Do you guys have a website you can go to see the progress of this project? We do. Anything on website? We do on our GDOT homepage. There's, like, you got a bigger rolling screen on it, underneath there's a bar. It's called GeoPie. You can look at any of our projects. The easiest way I can tell you how to get to it is to type in the search bar at the top, you can see your county and the road name, and you should be able to find the project there listed. It doesn't give you a whole lot of detail, unfortunately. I think we're trying to work on that. But it should tell you the general outline of what the project is, what it's detailed. And as far as I know, they extend the 15, 20 years out on that website. It'll tell you, when we begin construction, it'll tell you understand complete. But what that does is that details how much money has been paid out to the contractor. That's the best way we can figure that when a project's going to be finished. It details that it's delayed a month, so just be updated. It also details the actual completion date of that project. So if we had an issue on the project, if we had delays with utilities or weather, things like that, that does get updated on there. So if we fail to reach out to you, you can look it up yourself.
Okay. One other thing, a few had asked about, just our road maintenance and all that. Nothing's going to change with that. They got the ways in there, just like EMS or whatever, so they're going to take everything in there and take care of the roads. We're talking over here about your dirt road. It's got So as soon as it quits raining and we're moving in, we get to Harrison, they get the area with the scrapes and stuff, they'll be there a while, you know. But we can move equipment without having to deadhead it, you know, across 281, which typically don't do anyway, but, you know, those kind of things. So nothing's gonna change.
Yeah, I say on that, he wanted to reassure, you know, they have an area cover map that lets us know where they're tracking. I've tried to put it in the meetings, every month as to the direction they're going. Nothing's changing. The grass cutting crews will be on their same route, same road, same time as they normally are. The scrape crews will be the same way, the gravel crews will be the same way. From a maintenance standpoint, nothing's gonna change. I will say this though, in talking to Chris Steels earlier, the guy that's doing our road survey, he said Harrison had some of the better roads in the county. So if you think they're bad, ride to the other side of the county, then you'll see really bad. But that's one of the areas that we're gonna start in first, to be honest with you. Start being careful with the road crews that are coming.
I may have missed it, but you said there was the elevation, the bridge was gonna be 10 foot higher?
Yes, sir.
But could you provide some perspective as far as the length, to change that?
The length of the actual bridge?
Correct, compared to
Or
what
to
it
get,
is currently?
referring to the dip?
Yeah.
The actual bridge is gonna be 430 feet long, 40 foot wide, and then 10 foot higher than what it is now. The span of asphalt that we're gonna replace,
That's gonna be longer.
that's what you're referring to,
Yeah.
how far we're coming off the bridge with new asphalt to try to get the dip out? Hang on 1 second.
We're only going,
Sir, you still ain't just stand at the post. Why don't you come there and get sworn in, get your badge, and...
If y'all, I know some of the, we appreciate y'all, Mark, I know y'all got a meeting that y'all got to. Jackson,
Thank y'all, Chief.
we thank y'all. Appreciate it.
So, okay, so according to the plan, we're only going 200 feet either side of the bridge.
Now, unlike y'all, I wanted them to straighten those curves out also,
We did too.
along with y'all, yeah.
I think everybody would like it.
We lobbied hard to get this one straightened out here at Booger Hill and the other one, the line curve.
But now the bridge, the passing lane for the motorcycles, that oncoming traffic, they got somewhere to go.
Point.
I got that double yellow tool.
There you go, that's where they go.
Yeah.
Is there any questions? Any questions related to this at all? Any questions unrelated to this we might be able to help you with?
Oh, yeah, you're opening up.
Well, I tell you, I want to thank you for each of y'all for taking time out of your evening to come in here. Been weighing on Brian heavily. He's done a good job putting this together, making sure y'all was coming. I hope all the answers you were given. If not, please send an email. Send it to myself or Brian, and we can forward it up the chain and get you an answer. Gentlemen, I want to thank you also for attending tonight.
Right.
You know, you probably routinely do this in every county, but it means a lot to each county. When you walk away, you may not know that, but it does. And to the citizens of this county, thank you.
Yeah. And I appreciate what you've done internally and knowing about it, and just reassuring folks. And so, folks, if y'all will, the ones that's in attendance here, when you get questions over there, you can tell them to call me. I'll be glad to talk to them. But if you can just reassure folks and say, hey, the meeting, they're planning, you know, if something comes up, we got professional folks here, the Department of Transportation here, the Sheriff's Department, all our guys are professional, and they will make some changes if they see something that has to be done that's going to happen. So let's just, you know, you see something, you got a little question, let us know, and we can run it past and see if we need to do something differently, but, you know, it's planned.
On speaking on there, and you may not see it right now, but let's just say middle of construction, or let's just say a detour is not working out, or there's turnarounds. And this is what we called on the other little road over there. When they took that bridge out, a lot of people was turning around in individual driveways. Now, that's stuff we have to know about. Because I need to let, E.R. Snell know, hey, guys, everybody's not paying attention, they're going too far, and the garbage truck of all things was turning around, and he just destroyed this guy's driveway. Those are the things that's in process that we'll need to know about. So if you feel like a detour is maybe not handling the traffic well enough, we may need to look at it, they need to look at it. I will say, on behalf of E.R. Snell, and I don't know anybody that works there other than the one gentleman that I just met recently, they've done a good job in this one in Danielsville. I mean, I haven't sat in traffic yet, and they've almost got this temporary bridge built, and it's gonna be opening soon. But so far, it's went rather flawlessly.
And just to piggyback on that, that's why we're looking at bringing out those additional portable changeable boards. That's to hopefully alleviate some of that for you guys as well. So we're already in the pre-planned pricing those extra ones out just for those types of situations, so.
But you're still gonna have some that's gonna test it. Road closed where? And they'll drive around it until they get to the end, and then they wanna turn around.
They wanna see how close they can get. Yeah.
Because your driveway may be past the boundary of the road closing, so they say, well, it ain't completely blocked off.
So,
We
the
see
road,
it every day.
so, my understanding is, the road, they'll still be able to get down to the, outfitters down there. So that means it's gonna be fairly close that there'll be traffic in there to where the construction's
road
at.
to get down there, I think, is actually within the project limits. So to get down, you actually have to get past to get on there. But, the speaking kind of personnel, the general way that we build a construction bridge is we tear out asphalt last. You remove the bridge, that way they can get in and out without tracking mud everywhere. You should still have full access to that. You would have to get past barricades to get to it, but I think you would still be able to get down there.
So that, I'm probably, there's been some discussions about how they can do that, I'm sure.
That's general practice.
Yeah.
And E.R. Snell is very good about doing that. They built several bridges in this county, that y'all know. They did Old Wildcat Bridge.
Yeah.
And they're currently research projects in the county as well. So they're very familiar with the area, familiar with the problems, turning around and everything else, so.
Okay.
Just to cap it off, Terry, you have anything, sir?
That's it. Appreciate all the work that's done planning in advance. Appreciate all that thought that's gone into it. And I'm sure it's probably down closer to 100 days anyway.
Yeah. That's only if they start with dynamite.
All right. Is there anyone here that would like to stick around and look at these plans, or?
Yeah, there's some in the back.
Okay. All right, yes, sir. I'll leave them out for you.
Bobby, anything come to mind? Sheriff? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yep. Thank you all.
That's right.
We tried.
Yeah. I've not had a chance yet. I didn't get in there yet.
Every time one of us sits on it, it's like it's some basic altered communication.
Nice to meet you. Just now, And I know it.
Hey, how are you, sir? Doing good. Appreciate you coming. Yeah. Never tell me that. Yeah, I think it's right away. Did you ever start on your way back? I mean, he was beyond that. That's why we. There is some of that. We actually have to deal across there, and I'm he did exactly that.
that. Right here, Mike. We're kind of on a camera. Take care of that. Oh, right.
Still waiting on the
Elbert County.
We made a
A
lot.
lot. They've been too far for too long.
Anything else, sir, from me?
No, I'll talk to you.
Okay.
That's part of my job.
Oh, yeah.
Well, apparently we're gonna be in the paper, so.
Yeah, y'all are.
Well, I didn't vote for a picture, so.
Well, me either, but I saw
Hoping they
them
can
there
get it.
snapping pictures of me.
You'll be in the, Main Street News?
Main Street News?
Main Street News.
We'll go take a copy.
Well, my aunt lives down here, her
Yeah.
dad's George Elrod, so, my aunt comes down here all the time, I'll just have her pick up a copy of it. I was telling, what's his name, Todd?
Yeah.
Yeah, Todd knows George real well. Well, you kind of call me a little boy then, 'cause that's my aunt, so.